Ki Fateh. We're going to start with the Mool Mantra part and then we'll begin with the workshop. So, Satnam Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji, Ek Oankar Satnam Karta Purkh Nirpao Nirvair Akal Moorat Ajuni Sapang Gur Prasad Jap Sach Jugat Sach Hai Bhi Sach Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Okay, so today we have this opportunity to go over a brief history of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So last week we had the Gurta Gaddi of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, how the Gurta Gaddi, the Guruship, was given to Guru Granth Sahib Ji and then made the final eternal Guru. And we celebrated that last week. We also had the Jyoti Jyot of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, how they then left this world. And then we all know that on Monday we celebrate Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Prakash Purab. So taking those Gurpurabs into mind, so some of the Sevadars here of the Guru Kar, and so we decided to go over a brief history by Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Academy and go over some slides of how Guru Granth Sahib Ji was compiled. So it's a small, humble effort to bring that history across for the new generation. So as we have all the Gurus come in their physical forms, the final Guru we all know is Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And the word Granth can be split up into two words. So when we write it in Punjabi, we have Gagga with a Pari Rara, and we have a Tippi on top, and then we have a Thatha. So from the Gagga and the Tippi, we have a Nanna. From the Tippi, we get the Nanna. And from the Gagga and Nanna, we have the word Gyan. And from the Pari Rara, the Rara and the Thatha, we have the word Rath. That Guru Granth Sahib Ji contains, so the divine knowledge, the Gyan. So they're the Gyan da Rath. They're the chariot to carry that divine knowledge. And so they are to take the one out of darkness. Guru, the artha is from darkness into the light. So when we, so Guru Granth Sahib Ji takes us out of that ignorance and into the light of knowledge. And it is that divine knowledge, the shabads that are contained within Guru Granth Sahib Ji that can do that for us. So in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, there are many panktiyan in which the shabad is explained that the shabad is the Guru. And so there's panktiyan that we read, Bani Guru, Guru hai Bani, which Bani Amrit Sare, that the word, the Bani is the Guru and the Guru is the Bani. There's no difference. So within the Bani, the ambrosial nectar is contained, that Amrit is contained within the Bani. The Bani and the Guru are one and the same. Vaho Vaho Bani Nirankar hai, this Jevada Varana Koi. That Vaho Vaho. Wow, the Bani, the word is the formless Lord, and there's no other as great as he is. And Gurbani is Jagamah Chanana Karama Vasaman Ay. That Gurbani is the light to illuminate this world. It is the Chanana, it is that light to illuminate the world. And by his grace, by his kirpa, then it can come and abide within the mind. It comes to abide within the mind. Karama Vasaman Ay. By your good fortune, it comes within your mind. And so in this way, Gurbani and the Guru is one and the same throughout. Wherever Guruji recited the Bani, and then they would also respect that Bani as much as themselves. And so Vaheguru manifests within all his creation, and the way to realize this is through Gurbani as evidence of Vaheguru's existence, and the way to obtain union with Vaheguru is obtained from Gurbani. So that to merge one with that Vaheguru Akal Purkh, we can obtain that from the Gurbani. So we start with Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. As we know, Maharaj came into this world, and Maharaj then did Ucharan of Bani. So around 5 years old, Guruji then goes to school. Gopal Pandey then attempts to teach Guru Nanak Dev Ji, in which then Guruji then recites a Bani called Patti Likhi. And it's in this Bani, which is now in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Ang number 432. In this Bani, Guruji goes through each letter and explains the meaning of each of the letters. And that is when the 35 Akhar, the 35 letters of the Gurumukhi Lippi, is then formed. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji recites this Bani, and they also recite the first ever Shabad, Jal Moho Ka Samaskar Mat Kagad Karasar. And it's in this Shabad where when they recite this Bani to Gopal Pandey, he becomes so exalted and he falls to the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And at the age of 5 to 6, he says to Guru Nanak Dev Ji's father, Baba Mehta Kaluji, that this young boy has all the knowledge of the world, and I can't teach him. He has all the knowledge already. So on the right, you can see the photo of the Gurdwara now that's in Nanak Sahib in Pakistan, or Gurdwara Patti Sahib, where Guruji recited that Bani. And so as the Guruji would recite the Bani, they would then also scribe the Bani. So this means that the letters were formed in this way. Guruji recited the 35 letters, the 35 Akhar in the Bani of Patti, and Guruji would also scribe the Bani. So when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's, so when the wedding ceremony took place, there's actually a Gurdwara Sahib there today. If we go to Gurdwara Kand Sahib, where the Brahmins wanted to then, Guruji went against doing the wedding ceremony around the fire, the Havan. Guruji wrote Bani and then did a Pakarma around the Bani instead. And when the Pandits heard that he wasn't going to do this, they attempted to throw a wall, a kachi kand, and throw the wall onto Guruji as they were sat there. And they tried to push it, but with Guru Nanak Dev Ji's might and power, it didn't fall. And if you go to the Gurdwara there today, there's the Gurdwara Kand Sahib. So this is how we know that Guruji wrote the Bani as well also, and as they recited it. And we all know that Guru Nanak Dev Ji then would say to Bhai Mardana Ji ke Rabab Chhed, and play the Rabab, and Guruji would sing the Bani. And in that way then they would also write and scribe the Bani as well. And so later on then, when Guruji goes to Ahmedabad and goes to meet Bhai Lalo Ji, Guruji says to Bhai Lalo, that as the Bani comes to me from Almighty Vaheguru, then I utter it, then I recite it. So the Bani comes direct from Akal Purakh, and it's from they utter that Bani. And so Guruji then recites the Bani, and then it's then scribed as well. Guruji scribes it. So just later, then just to skip forward, by Balaji, you can see in the photo, by Pada Mokha is a scribe at that time, when Guru Angad Dev Ji becomes Guru, and then Guru Angad Dev Ji goes to Khadur Sahib, and it's at Khadur Sahib then Guruji wants to then decides that they want to record the life of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They call Bhai Balaji to come to Khadur Sahib, and Bhai Pada Mokha is that first scribe then who takes the Janam Patri. The Janam Patri is that horoscope that Pandit Hardayal makes when Guruji was born on the order of Baba Mehta Kaluji. And so Baba Mehta Kaluji calls Pandit Hardayal, and he writes it in Sanskrit. And in the Itihas, it tells us that Guru Angad Dev Ji calls for Bhai Pada Mokha to take that Janam Patri and then to translate it from Sanskrit to Gurumukhi. So you can see how then that the letters were formed, and how then Gursikhs were very learned at that time as well of Gurumukhi Akhar. So as Guruji would do Ucharan of Bani, they would also write it down. And in Bhai Gurdas Di Diyanwara, we have a Shabad which you read. This is when Guru Nanak Dev Ji goes to Makkah, and where Makkah rolls round and spins and moves wherever Guruji's feet is in the direction. And at that place then they have a conversation with the other Qazis, the other Muslims at that time. And they ask Guruji, they say, Puchan fol kitabno Hindu vadda ke Musalmanoi. That they ask Guru Nanak Dev Ji to open and search in his book, in his kitab. And we say Pothi Sahib. but they would say kitab because they would see it as just a book. Now some people would take this pankti and think that this is Guru Nanak Dev Ji had a Quran, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji would, when they went to Makkah, went to Baghdad and Saudi Arabia, that they kept a Quran with them. But then if we look at this Shabad by Gurdas Ji, the Guruji gives the answer to those Qazis. Guruji says, Baba Akhi Hajiya Sub Amla Bajoh Dono Roi. Without good actions, they're both crying, both the Hindus and the Muslims. So if Guruji had a Quran, then that wouldn't make sense, because we all know that the Quran says that those who don't believe in Allah and Muhammad, that they're non-believers, they're kafirs. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji here would have a poti with them, and that poti side with where they would write down their shabas, and we have some photos of some poti of Guru Nanak Dev Ji that are said to be Guru Nanak Dev Ji's handwritten potiyan. So as then Gurda Kaddi is given from Guru Nanak Dev Ji to Guru Angad Dev Ji, Guruji gives them the potiyan, Guru Angad Dev Ji the potiyan, and there's quite a popular famous Sakhi in which Guru Angad Dev Ji gives the potiyan to Mata Kivi Ji, and also brings back Karama, the wooden sandals that Guruji would wear, and give them to Mata Kivi Ji. What Mata Kivi Ji does, she puts it on a platform and she would do puja of the shoes, and it is then Guruji reminds her that you have to read the Bani. The Bani is going to be the one to save you, and that we still give respect to the items of Guruji, but the Bani is what you should read and you should apply and do puja and worship daily. And that's where Mata Kivi Ji would read from these potiyan daily in Sri Khadur Sahib. And we also know then Guruji would also teach in Sri Khadur Sahib the Bani. And where you can see the photo there on the bottom left, you have the photo of Gurdwara Mal Akhada Sahib in Sri Khadur Sahib. Ithe mare padhonde hunde si, and it's called Gurdwara Mal Akhada because that's where also wrestling would take place. Guruji would teach the children, and also they would do wrestling. Yeah, and so it was an akhada, there was an arena made. And so Guruji would teach this, and as then they would recite the Bani, and the Bani was recorded, written and scribed, it was then passed on to the next Guru, Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, Guru Ram Das Sahib Ji. And so then it was passed on from Guru to Guru, these potiyan were all passed on. There's also a Sakhi in which Guru Arjan Dev Ji then, as a toddler, they climb onto the manji of Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji. And so what happens is Mata Ji is busy in her seva, Bibi Pani Ji is busy in her seva, and Guru Arjan Dev Ji as a young child, as a toddler, they climb up onto the manji side where Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji sat. And because children are not, wouldn't usually go so close to Guruji or especially onto the manji side, just like we have Guru Sahib today, Prakash. And Mataji sees this, and Bibi Pani Ji goes quickly to say sorry to Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji and ask for forgiveness. And this is when then Guruji then explains, and it says to Mata Bibi Pani Ji, that Doheta Bani ka Boheta, that my grandson will be the one to ferry that Bani. They are the one that will take the Bani and will be the ship, that Boheta. And so the Bani, then Guruji gives this Pavitra Bachan, these words that they say, and explain that then Guruji is one to ferry the Bani. So this is highlighting that Guru Arjan Dev Ji will compile all that Bani together. So there was one day then, during the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, then there was a request from a Gursikh. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji was holding a very big congregation, and a Sikh approached Guruji and said, "Dear Guruji, when you are composing a shabad, you add Nanak, but there are also other people like Baba Prithvi Chand who also put Nanak in his sermons." Baba Prithvi Chand wanted to have the title of the Guru. He wanted to be the Guru. And so he would also have his own Bani and write his own writings. And after him, his son was Meherban. He would put Mahalla Sheva, and he would put that I'm the sixth Guru, and he would write his own words as well. And after him, there was Meherban's son was Har Sahai, and he called himself the Guru as well, Guru Har Sahai. And he had a claim that he was the Guru after. And so there actually used to be a poti from the lineage of Prithvi Chand. So Prithvi Chand, the Meherban, Har Sahai, from the lineages of Har Sahai, they still continue, I think, even till today. And the lineage of Guru Har Sahai, they used to have a poti, and this poti would they claimed had the writings of the gurus, but as well as their own self-proclaimed gurus such as Meherban and Har Sahai, and had his writing in there as well. And this poti was available up until I think the 70s or 80s, where they say that Har Sahai poti was stolen in transit from Punjab to Delhi, and it was stolen on the train. So that's another like a historic piece which was lost. But other people would recite. So Prithvi Chand, when composing Shabad, they would add Nanak. And so in the future, this could cause great confusion, as people would not be able to differentiate their sermons composed by the true gurus or by the fake ones. So dear Guruji, please do something about this matter so that the purity of Gurbani can be sustained. And it's at that time then Guruji replied and then said that Gurbani is the highest form of all. Always read and understand Gurbani, as it can eradicate ignorance. That get up during the wee hours of the morning to read and memorize Gurbani, as one will get the highest state of spirituality by doing so. And the compositions made by others that is relevant to Gurmat can also be read. And this includes the stories of saints and Sikhs. And the compositions that are not parallel to Gurbani should not be read, as it will corrupt a person. Compositions made by Gurdas Ji can help a person attain Sikhi, since it contains contains the praises of the Gurus. And so in this way, Maharaj decides that they will get rid of this doubt from the Guru Sikhs to compile a version of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji with all the Bani. So after a while, Guruji then said, on the banks of River Beas, there is a town called Gurdwara Sahib where Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji used to stay. Baba Mohan Ji, the eldest son of Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, is living there, who is always intoxicated in Almighty's love and has the compositions of the earlier 4 Gurus with him. And we need to think of a method so that we can retrieve the compositions of earlier Gurus so that we can compile it. At that time then, Bhai Gurdas Ji offers to go himself and retrieve the compositions from Baba Mohan Ji, but was unsuccessful, and he came back to Amritsar empty-handed. So here to know as well is that Guruji then is this time is Amritsar Sahib. Baba Mohan Ji, the eldest son of Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, is staying in Chobara in Gurdwara Sahib. So Baba Buddha Ji then volunteered to make an attempt, but was also unsuccessful. And Baba Mohri Ji, Baba Mohan Ji's younger brother, he also tried as well and could not enter Baba Mohan Ji's Chobara. So that Chobara is that second, like this double-story house. And in this Chobara, which we go to Gurdwara Sahib today, we can have darshan of, is there where Baba Mohan Ji would sit up there to do intense meditation. So actually what happens is that during the time of Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, when Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji gives the Gurta Gaddi to Guru Ram Das Sahib Ji, the 4th Guru, Baba Mohan Ji, they were upset that they hadn't been given the Gurta Gaddi, even though they were the eldest son. And so where all the Sangat then matha take to Guru Ram Das Sahib Ji, Baba Mohan Ji refuses, doesn't matha take. On the second day then, when all the Sangat are there, they do matha to Guru Ram Das Sahib Ji, he comes and Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji explains to Baba Mohan Ji that now you've come, Shirminda hoke, like you're embarrassed and now you've come to bow down, but you have that jealousy raging within you. And only by meditating upon Vaheguru's name that burning ego, that jealousy will go away. And so Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji says to Baba Mohan Ji that when the Dohita, when my grandson then becomes the Guru, only then that will be eradicated. And so for this reason, this is why Baba Mohan Ji would go into deep meditation in his Chobara, and he would close the door and do meditation in his Chobara side. And when he would do meditation there, he would lock the door. And this is where, even when Baba Buddha Ji goes to get the Pothiyan, he's unsuccessful. In Guru Pratap Suraj Granth, it says that he managed to undo the lock, and he goes inside, he goes upstairs, he goes into that place where Baba Mohanji is sat cross-legged, and he tries to awaken him, but he can't do it, and he comes back. And so in that instant, then that's when Guru Arjan Dev Ji then decides to go themselves to Gondwal to obtain the Pothiyan. So Guruji then walked to Gondwal from Amritsar barefoot, approximately 40 kilometers, and they did Ishnan in the Boli Sahib and sat on the ground in front of Baba Mohanji's house. If you've been to Sri Gondwal Sahib, you know that there's a Boli Sahib with 84 steps. And Guruji did Ishnan there, and then outside the gully of the house, Guruji then sat using a tanpura, a stringed instrument. Guruji sang the kirtan, sang a shabad, and requested the Gurbani Pothiya containing the shabads of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Angad Dev Ji, Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, and Guru Ram Das Sahib Ji. So the shabad that Guruji recited at that time is Gauri Mahalla Panjwa, Mohan Tere Uche Mandar Mahal Apara, Mohan Tere Sohan Dwar Jio Sant Dharamsala. Guruji recited this shabad at that time, and as each Pauri they recited the Bani, so Baba Mohanji's so meditation, where they were so immersed in that, they awoke from that meditation, and they came down and brought those Pothiyan to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And it says that when he did Matha Tek to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, that's when all that burning jealousy was then eradicated, it all went away. And so Guru Arjan Dev Ji then does Ucharan of this Bani in praise of Vaheguru Akal Purakh. And after obtaining the Gurbani Pothiya from Baba Mohanji, Guruji then placed them on a beautiful decorated palki, a palanquin, and he did not sit in the palki or ride on horseback. Guruji walked barefoot on the left-hand side of the palanquin all the way to Amritsar side, and it's a sign of respect to remain on the left, just as Parkarma, just like when we do Parkarma, you go on the left, or when we do Sri Akhand Path Sahib, or when Katha is done, you sit on the left. So it is a sign of respect, just as Parkarma, which is done from left to right, and keeping Guru Granth Sahib Ji on the right hand side, so as you do Parkarma. So at Sri Amritsar Sahib, then in this way Guruji takes the Pothiyan from Gondwal, and these Pothiyan then, they were scribed by Baba Sansaram, which we'll get to later. But these Pothiyan are known as the Gondwal Pothiyan. These are all the writings of the Gurus, all the Shabads that were then written. And at Sri Amritsar Sahib, at Arsar Tirth, on the banks of Sri Harmandir Sahib Sarovar, Guruji then asked Baba Buddha Ji to perform Chaur Sahib Seva and sing Kirtan throughout the night. So this was the first Ransbai Kirtan. Like now, there's Guru Kar, this is going to be a Ransbai tonight. The first ever Ransbai was when those Pothiyan were brought from Gondwal to Arsar Tirth. Arsar Tirth is that asthan there. You can see the photo where you have the Thada Sahib, where Guruji would sit there. Guru Arjan Dev Ji would sit and overlook the seva, the Kar Seva of the Harmandir Sahib and of the Sarovar. And so at that sthan, which is right next to Dukhapanjani Beri, Guruji then told by Baba Buddha Ji to place the Pothiyan there. And in the morning then, after the Kirtan, Guruji did darshan of the Pothiyan, and that's when they recited the Bani, the Shabad, Pothi Parmesar Ka Than, Sad Sang Gavah Gun Gobind Puran Brahm Gyan, and they recited that the place of Vaheguru is contained within the Pothi, within the writings. So Guruji then selected a place for to compile Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They selected Sri Ramsar, the Sarovar, where there was a pool there, and to compile Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Saroop. And at that time, when they found the place, they recited the Bani Nit Prat Navan Ramsar Ki Jai Chol Maharas Har Amrit Bija. And at that place then, at Ramsar, where there was a Sarovar, a pool there, Guruji set up a tent, and at the bank of the Ramsar Sarovar, at the bank of the Ramsar Sarovar pool, and after seeing the Pothiyan, Guruji then recited the following. They also did Ucharan of the Shabad, Piyo Dade Ka Khol Dittha Khajana Ta Mere Man Paya Nidana. The opening, seeing the Pothiyan of my fathers, my ancestors, that my mind has been exalted with bliss, full of bliss. And that's when Guruji then recited that Shabad at that time. And that's the Gurdwara Sahib now. If you to go to Amritsar Sahib, which is it's not too far, you can go in walking distance, and you can have darshan of Sri Ramsar Sahib. So At Ramsar Sahib, then Amritsar, during the large congregation, when preparations to do the first Prakash of the Pothi Sahib were in progress, Guruji then said the following, that Ad Granth Sahib Ji, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, is a ship prepared to ferry everyone across the worldly materialistic ocean. And whoever listens to, reads, and then contemplates Gurbani with devotion will effortlessly become a passenger on the ship with Guruji, who becomes the captain of the ship himself and will navigate the ship across the worldly ocean to the port of eternity. So it's at this place where then Bhai Gurdas Ji is made the scribe, and Guruji then starts to compile the first version of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which we call Ad Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So the Gondwal Pothiyan are those Pothiyan that were then collected from Sri Gondwal Sahib. The Gondwal Pothiyan was scribed by Baba Sansaram. So Baba Sansaram was the son of Baba Mohanji. And Baba Mohanji, they were given the task, which they learnt very quickly, the Akkar, and they were given the task of scribing all those Pothiyan and putting into 4 volumes, which we call the Gondwal Pothiyan. But they were in all Ada Pothiyan. In this picture, you can see that we have the Penti Akkar from the Gondwal Pothiyan and the Penti Akkar as we see. And so you can see how the Akkar then were formed to the final point of like this when Ad Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj was compiled by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. So you can see some of the Akkar like the Edi, and some of you who might know Hindi, on the Yaya line the Lalla looks like the Hindi Lalla, and some of the other Akkar you can see are just slightly different from what we would see it today. But what's quite amazing is that Guru Arjan Dev Ji then finalized these Akkar to as we see it today, and made it very simple for us to learn, because through 4 letters you are able to write all 35 letters. So if we were to take 4 Akkar and we call this Hatitap, Ha Ha Tanka Tattan Papa. If you take those 4 letters, Hatitap, and you can write every single letter from the Apenti Akkar. So if I get a ha and I close it, it becomes a rara. If I get the ha and then I extend it, it becomes a kakka. If in the same way, ha becomes sassa, gagga, vi ban janda, then you can make many letters. If I have a tanka and I turn it the other way around, it becomes nganga. Yeah, when I leave if I from a tanka I can get if I put a tanka one way and put it the other way, I get nanna. The tatta, if you put a gola in there, if you get papa, you get dada, and you get all the other letters. And then from papa, if you can get all the other ones, kaka. If you put 2 of them together, you get kagga. From the papa, you get yaya as well. So with 4 letters, you can write the entire Penti Akkar. Guru Arjan Dev Ji made this final form of them in this way. So the Gondwal Pothiyan, you can see the different Akkar, how they were written in the Pothiyan, and you can see here then some of the pictures from the Gondwal Pothiyan, which was scribed by Baba Sansaram. And so you can see some of the also are written. So we have the Shabad from Rags, Panda Toy Bastup Devaho. And you can see here how the Ankar and the Haha is used to write. Here's a few more photos. Here is from Suhi Rag, Jap Tapaka Band Bedola, Jit Langa Hai Vahela. And you can see here that Shabad on the left. On the right hand side we have another Shabad, and you can see it's much more difficult to read because you'll have to work out the Akkar and recognize the Akkar and how the letters are. So we have the Gondwal Pothiyan here. We have a few more photos of the Gondwal Pothiyan, and again you can see the different way that the Pothiyan, the Akkar are made. So Baba Mohanji told Guru Arjan Dev Ji then during his visit to Amritsar that my father Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji used to narrate Gurbani, and once he thought in his mind that he has no one to write the Bani, so he got my son Sansaram and taught him to read and write in just a few days. After learning, Sansaram was asked to write the Gurbani. Sansaram then rewrote all the Banis of the previous Gurus and compiled it in a book, in a Pothi. When Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji then left this world, Sansaram took good care of the Pothis And when you came and requested for the pothis, I asked my son to bring these pothis and hand it to you. And this is an extract from Guru Pratap Suraj Granth by Kavi Santokh Singh. So here's another photo from Kartarpuri Beed De Darshan by Dr. Jodh Singh in his book of the Gondwal Pothiyan. Just one angle from there. So in this way, then the Pothiyan were collected, and then the first Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sarup was then compiled. So one thing to note here is that out of respect we say Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji, but more commonly you will see just Aad Granth written, and in most cases in English it will be written ADI, and people will pronounce it Adi Granth or Adi Granth. Yeah. So in Gurbani and in Punjabi, when we write words, we make use of Sihari and Ankar at the end of words for grammatical reasons. So when we write the word Aad, it ends with a Dadda Sihari. Ade Kanna Dadda Sihari, Aad. And usually that means that then Aad, this then will relate to the next word after it. So in grammar. So with the Dadda Sihari, when then you would transliterate, many would put an I because of the Sihari and the Dadda. And that's how the word Aad then has then, in English then, ended up with the spelling ADI. And we all know in Punjabi, Addi means half. But at that time when Guru Arjan Dev Ji compiled Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Bani was Sampurna, was complete. So it was never half. So for that reason, we should never say Addi or Adi Granth. It's Aad Granth. And out of respect, we say Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji, because even though Guru Arjan Dev Ji at the time was still hadn't given the Gurta Gaddi, the respect was still the same in that way. And so the Bani and the Guru are one and the same. And so we out of respect, we say Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So the first Prakash of Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji is done in 1604. And this photo you can see Guru Arjan Dev Ji. They are sat there, and then Bhai Gurdas Ji is then scribing the Sarup. So the first compilation, Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the first compilation by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, described by Bhai Gurdas Ji, and the completion of the scribing was on Padovadi Ekam, which was 1661, 1604, at Ramsar in Amritsar. And the Shabdas from the 15 Bhagat, 17 parts, and 4 Sikhs were added. And so it took approximately 2 weeks to complete the task. And the first Prakash was done in Sri Harmandir Sahib, and the first Granthi was Baba Buddha Ji. And as you can see then from the photos, and as then Guru, Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji is taken with respect Guru Arjan Dev Ji in the Chaur Sahib. And when the first Prakash was done, the first Hukamnama was Sohi Mahalla Panjava Santa ke Karj Aap Khloya Har Kam Karavan Aya Ram Tart Suhavi Tal Suhava which Amrit Jal Chaya Ram. That was the first of a Hukamnama. And so during those Gurpurabs, when when it's the first Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sarup, when the first Prakash, and when we celebrate that, the Ragi Singhs will sing this Shabad as well during that time. So in Harmandir Sahib, Guruji sat lower than Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and observing this, the Sangha, the congregation, developed the utmost respect for Gurbani. And further to that, Guruji didn't give any instructions that day. Instead, Guruji asked Baba Buddha Ji to convey the Hukamnama edict from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So from normally they would do Charan or Bani, or Maharaj would give Upadesh, give their teachings. At that time, Guruji sat lower, then showed the respect of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Nowadays, unfortunately, we have chairs in the Gurdwara. If you go to Harmandir Sahib, there's no chairs there. But if you go anywhere else, then you got chairs everywhere. Guruji themselves never ever sat higher. And so for this reason, we should never sit on a higher platform either. And this is why there are, like this Gurukar and many others, there are provisions made where there's rooms made, or there's a separate hall for those people who can't sit. But we should have that respect, just the way Guruji gave respect to Bani and always sit at a lower height than Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And so Guruji then instructed the Sikhs to acknowledge Gurbani as the highest form, the highest authority, and to respect Gurbani more than Guruji's physical body. And that time then Harmandir Sahib, Guruji then tells the Gursikhs about the respect for Gurbani. Guruji also specified that whenever Gurbani is to be written, you have to be made sure that the spellings with the correct Gurmukhi letters and syllables are used accordingly. And Guruji further said that the Gurbani must be read with correct punctuation and pronunciation, and no one should try to add or remove any words, letters or vowels from Gurbani, as the person who does so will only be showing disrespect to Gurbani and shall prove his or her ignorance. And so that's when Guruji then says those words at that time. So after the first Prakash of Al Guru Granth Sahib Ji in Harmandir Sahib, Guru Arjan Dev Ji from that day onwards never sat on the throne and always sat lower in the presence of Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And in the evening of that day, Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji was carried on a decorated palanquin in a palki in royal grandeur from Sri Harmandir Sahib to Koti Sahib, later known as Sri Akal Takht Sahib, which was Guru Arjan Dev Ji's bedroom where they would rest. And we see that even till today now, when Maharaj Prakash Sukhasan happens in Harmandir Sahib, Guruji is taken with lots of respect and taken from Sri Harmandir Sahib and to Akal Takht, and where then Guruji is put to rest. And Sri Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji was placed on the bed while Guru Arjan Dev Ji slept on the floor. Itihas says that then when at the end of the day, when they took Maharaj Swarup there, the Guru Sikhs had actually set up 2 beds. And Guruji said that I will not sleep on the higher one, and they sat on the floor. And that's why they slept on the floor, sorry. And from that day onwards then, we still have a chadar that Vishi Hundi, that they put a chadar down in Harmandir Sahib. So Sri Akal Takht Sahib, when Guruji's Sukhasan is done, in remembrance of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And so until today, it can be seen in Sri Akal Takht Sahib that a white cloth is placed below the Manji Sahib to signify the respect that Guruji gave to Gurbani. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji then ordered Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji to add the tunes, the tuniya, for warrior spirit within Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and we'll cover this in at the end a bit more about what these tuniya were and how they were added. The original Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji was installed in Harmandir Sahib until Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji left Amritsar and travelled to Kartarpur, where Guruji fought the 4th battle. So at that time then, Guruji then took the Swarup to Kartarpur, and then at Kartarpur then Guruji's grandson Tirmal, Baba Gurditta Ji's eldest son, he took permanent possession of Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and even till today, and the Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup is now commonly known as the Kartarpuri bead. So the Swarup of Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup, this Swarup was kept by the descendants of Tirmal, which still have it today, and we'll look into that as well. On the right, you can see some photos of the Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup. Here you can see on the right hand side is the writings of Bhai Gurdas Ji, and on the left we have the Mahamantar of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. Sorry, so the Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji's handwritten Mahamantar on the left, with Bhai Gurdas Ji's written scribed writings here. So we have a few more photos of the Kartarpuri bead. So it's now commonly known as the Kartarpuri bead because it stayed in Kartarpur Sahib. So this is not the Kartarpur of which is now in Pakistan, where Guru Nanak Dev Ji did Jyoti Jyot. This is the other city which is south of Amritsar, and this which Guru Arjan Dev Ji founded the city of Kartarpur. And at that place then, where this is where the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup is still there till today. And some Guru Sikhs have taken photos of the Swarup, which we managed to get hold of and have show you some of the photos. So you can see the photos here of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup. We have Japti Sahib, the Ang here, you can see, and the first Ang of Siri Rag, Motita Mandar Usra Hai Ratrita Hohe Jadao, the first Shabad of Siri Rag. And we have all those on the right hand side we have the shabads there that come in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Saroop. We also have, this is the Ang of Nand Sahib, Ram Kali Mahalla Tija Anand Ik Oankar Satguru Prasad, Anand Paya Meri Mai. So we have Anand Sahib the Bani that was scribed by Bhai Gurdas Ji, and you can see as well how the Ang has these, looks like tape that's been added onto the Ang. So actually this Saroop was repaired, which I'll explain a bit more later and how that happened. So on the left here we have a photo again from Rag Ramkali, which has a shabad that only has 2 lines in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Ran Janara Gao Sakhi Har Ek Tyavaho Satgur Tum Sev Sakhi Man Chindiyada Phal Pavaho. There's only 2 pangtiyan in that shabad. And so in this Saroop there's only 2 pangtiyan as well. And even in the Damdami bead, the final version of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, there are only 2 pangtiyan, which I'll again explain later. On the right hand side we have another Ang from the Kartarpuri bead, the Ard Guru Granth Sahib Ji Saroop. And this is where we have the Pagat Bani, and we have the 1 line of Pagat Surdas Ji. So out of the Pagats whose writing is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Pagat Surdas Ji has 1 line. Chadaman Harbe Mukhan Ko Sang. 1 line. And that is just the, I can point it out. If we just look here, that's the Pangati there, Chadaman Harbe Mukhan Ko Sang. And then the Shabad after it is the one that Guru Arjan Dev Ji recited, which you can see there, Sarang Mahalla Panjava Surdas Har Ke Sang Base Har Log. And Guruji recited that Shabad and gave it as a Suropa to Guru or to Pagat Surdas Ji. Actually, the Sakhi, I'm not gonna. It's quite a long Sakhi, but to shorten it, is that when Guruji was reciting all the Bani, compiling our Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Pagats also arrived, and when the Pagats were there, they were reciting their Bani one by one. But Pagat Surdas Ji was a very deep meditation. They were known to be very bairagi. A lot of bairag, a lot of disattachment to the world. And when Guru Arjan Dev Ji asked by Pagat Surdas Ji to recite, they only recited that 1 line and they fell into deep meditation. Chadaman Harbe Mukhan Ko Sang. And after reciting that, they went into deep meditation. And as then, because they recited this, then Guruji then replied to that. And as a reply, they Har Ke Sang Vase Har Log. And wrote the Shabad, and Guruji wrote the Shabad then, and that's when afterwards the Bani had gone into the next Rag, Pagat Surdas Ji awoke from their meditation, and they continued reading the Shabad, and the first line that they read, but Guruji didn't include that into Ard Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They said that now that Rag is being completed, the Bani is completed, and that now I'm not going to add any more. And so that's why in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, even till today, they only have 1 line of Pagat Surdas Ji. But Guruji, they recited that Shabad and put it into the, like we have a Sarupa, whoever gets a Sarupa, that Sarupa is yours. In that same way, that Shabad was then given to Pagat Surdas Ji, that is Pagat Surdas Ji's Shabad in that way. In the Sarup is also, this could have been added later, but it's a picture of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, a painting of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji that is within the Sarup and is kept intact in the Sarup. Also, we have on the last Angas of the Sarup, we have the Salok Mahalla Panjava Ratte Seja Mukhna Mudan, the Saloks from Varate Vadik by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, just before Salok Mahalla Nava Guru Gobind Gayo Nahi. But you can see that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's sloks are not in this Sarup yet. Yeah, sorry, they're not in this Sarup at all. And then when the final version of Guru Granth Sahib Ji was compiled, which we'll get to later, that's when the sloks were added of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. So it ends with Slok Mahalla Panjava Ratte Se, and then you have on the next Ang, you have Mundavadi Mahalla Panjava, Thal Vichitin Vastu Payo, and then Slok Mahalla Panjava Tira Kita Jato Nahi, that come at the end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And then the final last Ang is the Ang of Ragmala. Ek Oankar Satguru Prasad Rag Ek Ragmala Rag Ek Sang Pach Barangan. Akhirle Pangti, you can see खास राग उन गाए संग रागनी 30 सब्बे पुत्र रागन के 18 10 20 with the two numbers. A rag malada is the final ang on this sarup. And so we can see here the chronological whereabouts of the Kartarpuri bead. Guru Arjan Dev Ji compiled the sarup in 1604, and then from 1606 to 1666 is with Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, and it goes from Amritsar to Kartarpur, then Kirtpur, then back to Kartarpur. Then after that time, then from 1644 to 1664, for 20 years, it stays with Baba Tirmal. And then there is a point where Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji has that sarup, which I'll cover later with the Sakhi of how Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji has the sarup for a short while in Baba Bakali. Then Tirmal's family has it up until 1801. And then from 1801 and 1839, Mara Ranjit Singh and the Sodis, they have the sarup. So actually what it is that this sarup would go back and forth from Kartarpur and to Lahore, where then Mara Ranjit Singh would want the sarup to be Prakash and the Charan, Mara Sarup Charan in their home, and they would then do part and listen to the part from the sarup. When Punjab was annexed, then all the things that were that Mara Ranjit Singh had, that were then went to the to G.H. McGregor, who was then the Deputy Commissioner at Lahore, and then it was given to Sadhu Singh, and back to Sadhu, who was from the family of Tirmal in Kartarpur, and so that stayed then with them. And then in 1860 to 63, it was with the royal family of Patiala, the Raja of Patiala, and then Tirmal's descendants and kept the sarup from 1863 to today now. Yeah, this sarup that we have darshan of. So before we go ahead in the history, we always have to acknowledge a very important part of the history of when Bhai Bannoji then makes a copy of this sarup. So Bhai Bannoji was given the task of binding Al Guru Granth Sahib Ji and stopped at his village Khara Mangat, and current day is in the Tahsil of Halia district, Mandi Bahauddin in Pakistan. So Bhai Bannoji added other Baniya attributed to, I can't say it. Yeah, they added the other Baniya that were then said to be of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Ratanmala, Jetadar Lakh Muhammada, verses of Mira Bai poet, and Bhagat Surdas. So the rest of the Bhagat Surdas, the Shabad that they recited, that was added into the sarup that Bhai Bannoji then made the copy of. And they were not, all of which were not included in the original scribed the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Bhai Bannoji had both sarups bound in Lahore. If we listen to Gurbalas Padshahi Shevi, what it says in there, and when we listen to the Katha, you read it, is that when Bhai Bannoji goes with all the people of the village from Mangat, they go to Amritsar side, and Guruji says to Bhai Banno that take the sarup and get it bound, because you are from that you are from that area, and you can take the sarup, that we don't have binders here in Amritsar yet, and there will be a point where we will, but at this time we don't have binders. So take the sarup. So it was in sentia, meaning it was, they weren't compiled in a sarup yet. The jild hadn't been finalized. So Bhai Bannoji takes the sarup, and he also asked Guru Arjan Dev Ji if they could take the sarup to their home for Charan Pavan Vaste, to take the sarup to their home. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says yes, grants them that, but says that you can't stay more than one night, and you'll have to take the sarup quickly to Lahore and get it binded. And so on their way, they think in their mind that I have the sarup and I should make a copy. And in the Ityas, it says that they start writing it on the journey, on the way, they start to write and make a copy of the sarup. And at that time, the other Guru Sikhs that are with them, they bring potiyan, they bring the other potiyan of these other writings that were meant to be of the Gurus and other Guru Sikhs, which then Bhai Bannoji added. And so these were added, and it says that when they reached Mangat, then Bhai Bannoji stayed up all night and wrote all the sarup, all that saridat, took both the Sarups to Lahore, and then they were binded and then brought them back. But then because Bhai Bannoji's Sarup had the extra Baniya added in there, Guruji rejected it. So Bhai Bannoji give to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Peta Karanli. But Guruji said that I won't accept this. The ek khari bead, meaning khari like meaning is extra, it's added, is more larger. It has extra baniya, and I won't accept it. You can see the photo there of Bhai Bannoji, Puratan photo, and here you can see the two Sarups there, and Bhai Bannoji with the other Guru Sikhs of Margaret bringing the Sarups back. Surya Prakash, which it says that they hold both Sarups on their head as they bring the Sarups back. They bring both Sarups onto the Manji Sahib, dono Sarup rakhe sirte, and they bring it to Amritsar Sahib. So this version of this Sarup is known as Bhai Banno Wali Bead, and this stayed with the family of Bhai Bannoji up until 1946 in Mangat. 1946 it stayed in Mangat in Pakistan, and when partition happened, what happened was, so this was if I just quickly show you, this is the Gurdwara there, yeah? At Mangat, this is the Gurdwara, this is the interior of the Gurdwara here, and that's obviously one photo from the outside. Koi minu daso, what does this look like? Which Gurdwara Sthan does that look like? Harmandir Sahib. This Gurdwara then was built exactly replica as Harmandir Sahib, and Bhai Bannoji and all the Sangat at that time would do Prakash and they would do Satsang and have darshan of the Sarup and read Bani from the Sarup, Bhai Bannoji's. In 1946, when the Muslims at the time that didn't want them to stay in Pakistan, they started to riot and try to do Luttamar and try to kill the Sikhs at that time in Mangat, because there was a big population of Sikhs there. Mangat, what happened was all the Sikhs went to the Gurdwara Sahib and barricaded themselves in the Gurdwara so that they couldn't be killed, and they protected and defended themselves with guns and rifles and whatnot. And every time they take the Gurdwara and try to kill the Sikhs there, they would fire guns and bullets. And so at that time, the people of Mangat, they sent a letter to those Sikhs in the India side of Pakistan. India side of Punjab, And so they sent a letter saying that we have the Bhai Banno Wali Bead and we are under attack and we need help. But there was a lot of delay. And so for them to bring any help and bring any van or anything to take them out. So in that time, they were trapped in this Gurdwara, and the people of Mangat at that time, they were starving, they had no drink, no water. Within there was a well, and even the well dried out. There was no water in the well. There was from the lineage of Bhai Bannoji, there was a Gursikh that was the Granthi Singh. And it is known that what happened was that he did an ardas, and at the ardas, at the pog of the ardas, at the end, when he did the jakara, there was a loud bang, tamaka hoya, and out of the well, water just came gushing out. And when the water came gushing out, it came into the darbar of the Gurdwara Sahib. And so, and then the Sangat were able to have water and relieve them and be fresh and have water and get rid of their thirst. And so then later the van came and they managed to then take Maharaj Bhai Bannoji's bead, the Bhai Banno Wali bead, the Sarup, and all the Sangat managed to get onto these vans and then escape and leave Pakistan, and then they all moved to India, in which now the Sarup is at Kanpur. So where the families are there, those people from the descendants of Bhai Bannoji and the other Gursikhs of Mangat, they're now currently in Kanpur where the Sarup is. But you can see how this is a part of history which is lost because it's in Pakistan, and it's been this older photo here. You can see the gumbat at the top is it's more intact, and you see a more recent photo the damage and how it's fallen, and Holi will probably just deteriorate because it's completely abandoned. And this is why we do the ardas every day. This is why we do that part of the ardas. Because if we want to have darshan of Harmandir Sahib, we see it now with the gold that Maharaj Ranjit Singh put on it. But imagine seeing Harmandir Sahib during the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji without the gold, we could go to here, but unfortunately it's not accessible and it's not known about either. So it's a very important part of our history where this Gurdwara Sahib was then was built, and how this Gurdwara Sahib then Bhai Banno ji would use the would do prakash of the Sarup there. When when the Sarup was brought back, both Sarups were brought back binded to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. It's recorded in Gurbalas Patshahi Shevi, and in the Tatkara it matches the Tatkara as well, yeah? So I'll explain. So first of all, in the Tatkara you can see of the Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sarup. It starts with the Japji Sahib, the part, and it goes through all the rags, Tatkara Raga ka. So you can see it here, Suchi, Pad, Pothi ka, Tatkara Raga ka. And we have up to Bibas, Prabhati Rag. After Prabhati, there's no Jajavanti, because Jajavanti Rag is only Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's Bani. So then you have Sok, Sahaskriti, Gatha, Funahe, Chaubole. We have the sloks of Bhagat Kabir Ji and Farid Ji. Savaiye, we have the Patan Savaiye, and then we have Ragamala. And after Ragamala, then we have the Tatkara of the Shabads, yeah, each individual Shabad, the index of the Shabad. But what's unique about is that on the top here, it says this is before then Guru Ji then gives the Shahidi, and they signed the Sarup, and in Gurbalas Patshahi Shevi, they write the Sarup when the Sarup was returned. So if I'm not going to read all of it, but Sambat Sola Sah Sukhkari Ik Sat Tako Upar Tari. So the date was Sola Sah, so 1600, and then Ik Sat, Ik therefore Sat La Deo, Sat te Ik 61. 1661 was that date. Te Pado Sud Ekam Sukhdai. Te Pado da Meena si Ekam, Sudi Ekam. And Sri Granth Payo Pur Sahai, that's when the Sarup was then brought back and completed. Tatkare Meh Sambat Likhatara, Tatkare de Vicho Likhyava. By money, so I'll explain about Gurbalas Patshahi Shevi later, but Gurbalas Patshahi Shevi, this is by money Singh. And ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਤਤਕਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਵਾ ਡੇਟ, ਸੰਮਤ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਵਾ, ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਧ ਕੀਆ ਉਪਕਾਰਾ. If we look here, this is where Jyoti Jyot Samavane. It's quite difficult to read, but here we have Sambat 1661, 1661, just as written here. And 1661 Miti Pado, I'll read it from here. Pado Sudi Ekam. Haji Ekam nu. So on Pado Sudi Ekam te Pothi Likh Pauche. Pothi Likh Pauche. That's when the Sarup was returned back from Bhai Banno, and how then that 1661 was the date. When you convert the date 1660 from Bikrami to Gregorian, it's 57 years. So 1661 you minus 57 years, that gives you 1604. That's the Sarup, that's the date that came back. So 1604 when the Sarup was then the first Prakash, and when the Sarup was bounded. So we're going to skip now, yeah, to how then the Sarup goes to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. And so Siha Masand and Tirmal plan to steal Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's wealth and shoot him. So when Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji becomes Guru, Siha with Masand, with a Masand that had become corrupt, and then with Tirmal, who also claimed to be the Guru then, they plan to steal all of the wealth. And so what they do is they fire a bullet at Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. The bullet just grazes Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's forehead. And so by Makhan Shah Lubana, they retaliate and attack Tirmal with 500 soldiers. And they bring back all the wealth as well as Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So they go to Kartarpur from Baba Bakale, and they take everything, including the Sarup, Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sarup. But what happens is then, Makhan Shah is ordered by Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji to return all the wealth and the Sarup, but he doesn't return Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sarup, and he tells Mata Nanaki, and he doesn't tell Guruji. So he keeps the Sarup for himself, and he doesn't tell Guruji, and everything else, all the other riches and all the other gold and everything else that they took is given back to Tirmal. And Tirmal even though he's lost everything was brought back, he actually wanted to have Al Guru Granth Sahib Ji Saroop. So one day what happens is Guruji sees a Sikh carrying Al Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they're going to do Prakash. And then when Guruji sees the Saroop, they tell the Gursikhs at the time to put the Saroop into the river. Now you'd think it's like, why would anybody want to do that? Now we would be shocked if somebody told us to do this, and if Guruji told us to do this even today, would be like really puzzled and like shocked. But Guruji at that time with those Gursikhs, Guruji told them to put the Saroop into the river of Satluj. What happens is then when the Saroop is put into the river in Satluj river, Guruji tells the Gursikhs to tell Tirmal that if he wants the Saroop, he can take the Saroop out of the river of Satluj. When Tirmal comes, he does the ardas, and he does the ardas from Guru Nanak Dev Ji up until then, so Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji, because obviously he doesn't believe Guru Arjan Dev Ji or the Gurus after. He only does the ardas up to 4 Guru Sahibs, and the Saroop doesn't become Pargat. He sends his divers down to get the Saroop and try to retrieve it, and they can't find the Saroop. Then when he does the ardas, then from Guru Nanak Dev Ji to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, and mentions Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's name in the ardas, the Saroop becomes Pargat, and they retrieve the Saroop from the Satluj river at the bottom of the river. And when he retrieves the Saroop by doing ardas, to his amazement, the Saroop is not damaged. And although immersed in water for 13 days, only the cover and edges of the angs were wet and damaged. Kavi Santokh Singh in Surya Prakash states that the cover was replaced and the water damage can still be seen on the edges of the angs. When I showed you the pictures before, you can see how the repair was done. And the Saroop was then repaired at that time, which Kavi Santokh Singh mentions in Surya Prakash. And then in this way, the Saroop was given back to Tirmal. Guruji explains to Makhan Shah that he is burning in that ego and that jealousy, and that reading the Bani is the only thing that's gonna help him. And so in this way then, Guruji then doesn't take the Saroop and returns it back. And later on, the first Akhand Path Sahib is actually done from the Bhai Banno Wali bead, Bhai Banno Ji's Saroop. And that is done at Prayag Tribeni, in which then Mata Nanak Ji asks Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji for her to see her grandson. And Guruji says to Mata Nanak Ji, to his mother, that if you want to see a grandson, you will have to read Gurbani and do Ardas. And that's when the first Akhand Path Sahib took place. And after the Akhand Path Sahib, that's when the Guru Gobind Singh Ji was conceived at that place of Prayag Tribeni. And so Akhand Path Sahib uthon shuru hoya at that time. So, if we go a bit forward now, how then there's no difference between the Bani and the Guru. There's a Sakhi in which Guru Gobind Singh Ji is at Anandpur Sahib, and one day a Guru Sikh was reading Dakhani Onkar, and in the Dakhani Onkar Bani, he read a line incorrectly. Guruji sent a Guru Sikh to punish him and explain to the Sikh that by reading Gurbani incorrectly, you are breaking my limbs. So this is the Pankti from Dakhani Onkar that the Guru Sikh was reading, and in the Pankti, Karte ki mit karta jana, keh jane Gursura, the Guru Sikh accidentally read ke jane. So the Dulama here, the Guru Sikh read ke, made it one line of the ke. And when the one syllable was changed, Guruji ordered one of the Sikhs to go and hit the Guru Sikh. And so Guruji sends the Sikh, the Sikh hits him, and after the Pog or the part finished, Guruji, so the Sikh goes to Guruji and says, Maharaj, if I'm being beaten up while reading Gurbani now, what's going to happen to me in the next world? Agge ki hoega? That, while I'm reading part, I'm being hit. And Guruji explained that Guru Sikha, that when you were reading the Bani, that hit that you got, that you've been hit with, you might feel that small pain, but for me, it's like you're breaking my limbs. Meaning that the Gurbani and the form is one and the same, or my form is one and the same, that Guruji explains to the Guru Sikh. And that we should take care in reciting every single word and Lagamatra when we read Gurbani. So Guruji then says this, and the Guru Sikh says that, look, I don't know anything, Maharaj, please teach me. And Maharaj says that at this time we're in Jangjud, we're in battle, that we're being surrounded by the Mughal forces and the Hindu, the king chiefs. And so At this time then, I can't do this at this time. Well, Mara can do anything at the time, but Mara explains to the Gursikh that at this time we're in Jang Jud, and when we are free from Jang, then I will teach you the correct pronunciations and the Arth of Gurbani. And Mara explains that this Pankti, Karte ki mit karta jana hai, that Karte di mit Maryada, that the Maryada, the way, the conduct of Vaheguru Kalpurk, who is the creator, wo karta hi jana hai, janda hai. That Vaheguru Kalpurk knows it. The creator himself knows his creation and his and the way of the world. Keh jane gursura. Keh da arth hai keh jan athava o. O, the guru who is a warrior, or they know. Sura da arth also is Sura is one who is an illuminator. Yeah, one prakashak. So the guru who illuminates one and to give them the knowledge, either they know or the creator knows the way of the world. And by reading Ke Jane, that one, the Ke changed the meaning to Ki Janada. That what does the Guru know? Ki Janada Guru. And that became then obviously disrespectful. And Guruji explained this to the Gursikh, and then Maharaj explains at that time. In Itihas, the which Maharaj a bachan udo bole si jin paab adabna bani tara janho so sikh nahi hamara. The person who does not respect or fear Gurbani cannot be my Sikh. Sikho sunho sikh eho meri bani padho shuddh gur keri padhe mahatm leh bisal halat pardh meh hoye nihal. Oh Sikhs, listen to this teaching, recite Gurbani correctly, i.e. pronounce it correctly, read it and obtain many pleasures herein and hereafter. One will be exalted in bliss. So in this way, Maharaj ucharan of these bachans at that time, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji then, the battle of Anandpur Sahib, we all know. Then Maharaj leaves Anandpur Sahib, then goes to then the Sarsa river where they're separated, the Sahibzade get separated. They cross the river, go to Chamkaur side where then the eldest Sahibzade of Maharaj becomes Shaheed. And then later the youngest Sahibzade of Maharaj becomes Shaheed as well. Maharaj then leaves Chamkaur di Gadi and then goes to Machiwara, where then again they are they separated from the Gursikhs. Where then Maharaj then comes back as Uchda Peer, Hor Janga Jud Jud Karke. Maharaj then, after all those battles, they finally reached Damdama Sahib. And so, to restore Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji, compiled by Guru Arjan Dev Ji to the Sikhs, Guru Gobind Singh Ji sent a group of 25 Sikhs led by Baba Deep Singh Ji to Tirmal. So Guruji sends these Gursikhs to Tirmal to bring back the Sarup. So he possessed the original Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji and requested for its return. But they refused to part with it and asked the Guru to write his own Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji if he was the real Guru. Tirmal refused by saying the following: Panth chalayo jaise nayo, kyo na Granth uchare leo. Yeah? So he did in Punjabi. That Tirmal then said that why doesn't the Guru Gobind Singh Ji recite the Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji himself, just like he created a new Panth? And so to get this doubt out of all the Guru Sikhs, yeah, Guru Gobind Singh Ji then recited all the Bani from memory. The second version of Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji was prepared by Guru Gobind Singh Ji in 1706 at Damdama Sahib. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji dictated the entire Guru Granth Sahib Ji from memory. Apne Kanthyo Charan, Maharaj did all the Bani, and obviously the Asthan there we can see Damdama Sahib today. And by Mani Singh Ji then was the scribe. So the Damdami bead, we call it, yeah, the Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji, that final version of Guru Granth Sahib Ji is also known as Damdami bead. Because that Asthan is known as, because of the Asthan being known as Damdama Sahib, that became known as Damdami bead. Because Guruji rested there, and after all the Jangjud battles, Guruji stayed there and took Dam. Dam means rest, breath. And so they took breath there, took rest there, and they became known as Damdama Sahib. So Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji dictated word by word as it originally was, and Baba Deep Singh Ji handcrafted all the ink, paper and pens, and Bhai Mani Singh Ji scribed all the Bani. Ab darbar damdama jahan tambu lagawa keh gur tahan, Mani Singh ko likhan bathai keh Guru Nanak ka dhyan tarai keh, nit prat Guru uchari jaise Bani likhi Mani Singh taise. At Damdama Sahib, tents were erected, and Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji was made by Mani Singh Ji sit and scribe the Bani while focusing on Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And in this way, the Gurbani was dictated daily by Guru Gobind Singh Ji from his memory to by Mani Singh Ji till its completion in 9 months, 9 days. So in the total time was 9 months, 9 days, 9 hours. In this time, the whole Sarup was prepared and completed. At this time, Guru Gobind Singh Ji re-edited Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji to the form in which we find it today. This task took a total of 9 months, 9 days, 9 hours, 9 minutes, with the teachings of the recitation taking place in the mornings and its meanings being taught in the evening to 48 sings. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji added the tune, the Tuniya, to 9 vars out of 22 as instructed by Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. 115 hymns of his father, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, and 1 dohra of his own as well was added. And I'll explain about that dohra of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, how that was added later as well. So this final copy is known as the Damdami Bead. Okay, but this is the Sarup in which then Guruji then gave the Gurta Gaddi, the Guruship to. And so it's exactly the same as the Kartarpuri bead, Adi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sarup, with just the addition of the vars, the tunes, the 9 tunes, which we hear in Asadivar daily, Tunde Saraje Ki Tuni, for example. And then also the Bani of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, and 1 dohra which is within that sloks of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji instructed Baba Deep Singh Ji and Bhai Mani Singh Ji to set up schools, taksals, to teach the correct pronunciation and meanings of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So after the 9 months, 9 days, in which then Baba Deep Singh Ji made all the ink, pen, paper, and Bhai Mani Singh Ji scribed all the Bani, in the end of the part of all the Bani being recited and the meanings being taught, the 48 sings, 46 became Bade Mukht. They became liberated without their bodies, without the need for their bodies. And so then in this way, Bhai Mani Singh Ji and Baba Deep Singh Ji were about to leave this realm. And this is when Guru Gobind Singh Ji said to then Baba Deep Singh Ji and Bhai Mani Singh Ji, your state of that you are in, this bliss that you're in, it won't waver, it won't go away, you will still have this, but you have more seva to do. And so they instruct by Baba Deep Singh Ji to stay in Damdama Sahib to teach, and by Mani Singh Ji to go to Amritsar and then to also teach in Amritsar and to set up schools, taksala. And upon the completion of the Sarup, an Akhand Path with 25 sings took place. The 25 sings are made up of 5 Akhand parties, 5 Japji Sahib parties, 5 Tupiye who do the Jot and the Tuf or Samagri, 5 Chaubadar who are basically Chaubadar are the guards, Paredar, and 5 Langaris who cook the langar. And then after the Pog of the Akhand Path, a Hukamnama was read, which was Satgur Ayo Saran Tuhari Mila Suk Nam Har Subha Chinta Lahi Hamari. And after the Akhand Path was so Amrit Sanchar in Damdama Sahib Ji, which there was 120,000 Sangat members received Khande Batida Amrit after the Pog of the part at Damdama Sahib. So from the schools of the Taksala that was set up, we have the Sampradaya Paranali, the lineage of that Sampradaya of Taksal. So we have Guru Gobind Singh Ji at the top, with then Bhai Mani Singh Ji and Baba Deep Singh Ji, and then we have many Gursikhs that then would then continue that lineage of teaching that Gurbani and the pronunciations and the correct pronunciation and the correct meanings. And so in this way we have some quite famous Gursikhs like Bhai Sant Singh, who was a great famous Gursikh that taught Kavi Santokh Singh, and we have Dr. Bhai Veer Singh as well, so in that lineage of the Amritsar Taksal. And from that Amritsar Taksal we have Brahmgyani Sant Amir Singh Ji, who did 60 kathas in the Parkarma of Harmandir Sahib. And after them was Sant Kirpal Singh Ji, who wrote the famous Tika of Amir Pandar. And then from the lineage of Baba Deep Singh Ji, then we have Sant Bishan Singh Ji Murale Wale, Sant Harnam Singh Ji Bedi, and then Sant Bishan Singh Murale Wale. Then we have Sant Sundar Singh Ji Pindra Wale. And Sant Sundar Singh Ji, their Jaddi Jameen was in Pindra. And so they then, that Jameen that they had, they basically gave it to the Panth, and they said that you want to use this Jameen for teaching Gurbani. And that Gurdwara Sahib was built there, Gurdwara Khand Prakash was then built there. That's where then the Gurbani was taught from there. And after Sant Sundar Singh Ji was then Sant Gurbachan Singh Ji called Sapindra Wale. After them was Sant Kartar Singh Ji. And then after them was Sant Jarnail Singh Ji, which we all know Sant Jarnail Singh Ji, who made the name Bhindranwale famous across the world by taking on the whole of the Indian army. And so, and then we have Sant Baba Thakur Singh Ji. So, in this way, the lineage still continues of that Taksal even till today, where the writing, the meanings and the pronunciations are then given. So in the year of 1708, 6 days before Guru Gobind Singh Ji emerged into his formless form, Jyoti Jyot, an Akhand Path in Hazur Sahib Nanded was organized and completed by 25 Singhs. 25 Singh wala Akhand Path hoya si with the full Maryada, which is also mentioned in Muqtamar Granth. So this is made up of 5 Guru Granth Sahib Ji's parties, 5 Japji Sahib parties, 5 Tufiye, incense and lamp jyot, 5 Langaris, Langar chefs, and 5 Paredars, guards, in which the following 5 Gursikhs were the parties. So the 5 parties were from the Panj Pyare Bhai Taram Singh Ji, Baba Deep Singh Ji Shaheed, who fought with their head in their hand, Bhai Gurbaksh Singh Ji Shaheed, who Baba Gurbaksh Singh Shaheed, who Asthan is also behind Sri Akal Takht Sahib, who also fought with their head in their hand. Bhai Santokh Singh Ji was Sevadar of Hazur Sahib, and Bhai Har Singh Ji, who wrote the daily diary of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And Bhai Har Singh Ji then they would write the diary, which we'll explain later as well. Guru Gobind Singh Ji listened to the entire recitation of the Akhand Path in one sitting, and Panj Bir also sat and listened to the entire Akhand Path in one sitting. And on the conclusion, the following Hukamnama was read. So on the Pog of the part, the Hukamnama was Khulya Karam Kripa Pai Thakur Kirtan Har Har Gai Sram Thaka Pai Bisrama Mit Gai Sagli Tai Ab Mohe Jeevan Padavi Pai Cheet Ayo Manpurk Bidata Santan Ki Saranai. And this was the Shabad, and the Iragi Singh also sang this Shabad at the Pog as well. And even till today, Ragi Singhs will sing this Shabad during this time of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Jyoti Jyot and during Guru Granth Sahib Ji's Gurta Gaddi. One thing as well here, Guruji listened to the entire part cross-legged in one sitting. And it says in the Ityas that the Gursikhs bought buckets of water and did Marad Ishnan as well while the part was happening. And the Panj Bir are those Panj Gursikhs that took Amrit after the Panj Pyare in 1699. They stayed with Guruji at all times. And those Panj Bir, they also sat in that way, that I reside in, as Guruji says that I reside in the 5. Those Panj Bir then also sit in that Akhand Path and listen to the entire Akhand Path in that way. And so this happens in Sri Hazur Sahib. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji then organized a free kitchen, a langar, in mega scale for 2 days. And on the 3rd day, Guruji then came before Guru Granth Sahib Ji and instructed the 5 Gursikhs I mentioned before to stand behind Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. This was the day in 1708 that Guruji inaugurated Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji as the internal Guru of the universe. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji offered a karpan from his Kamar Kasa, his war belt, 5 paisa representing the entire Maya, and a coconut symbolizing self-surrender. And it's here written in Gurbalas Padshai Dasvi by Koir Singh. Sunke kaha eho ityas, chalo aad satgur ke paas, tab pun uthe sab sanga, paise 5 naliyer so anga, leke tahi arp ki bandhan, par dakhan karte man rangan. That Guruji then gave that coconut, the 5 coins, and then did parkarma, bowed down and did parkarma, and so did parkarma around Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So Guruji did 3 parkarma of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji and bowed down, after which the ardas was done and the following Hukamnama was read. Suhi Mahalla Panjava Abchal Nagar Gobind Guru Ka Naam Jabat Sukh Paya Ram Man Iche Sahi Phal Pai Karte Ab Saya Ram. This is the Hukamnama after the Gurta Gaddi was given. And because then this was the Hukamnama, that's why the title of that title of Abchal Nagar is given to the town of Hazur Sahib. This is why we say Abchal Nagar Sachkhand Sri Hazur Sahib. That is the is Achal, is Abchal. It is never changing, so it can never be changed in any way. So the Gurta Gaddi is given. Here's another picture of the Gurta Gaddi in which Guru Gobind Singh Ji bows down to then and gives the Guruship to the final Guru, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And you can see the Panj Gur Sikhs behind as well in this painting. So Guruji then gives a command to all his Sikhs that we all sing at the end of Ardas, Agya Paya Kal Ki. And this dohra is recorded in Gyani Gyan Singh's Naveen Panth Prakash, but it also comes in Bhai Har Singh's diary. So the Bhai Har Singh that was in the Akhand Path, the Panjve Party, Bhai Har Singh Ji, they had a diary in which they would write down the daily, what would happen daily in Guruji's Darbar. That poti was in Hazur Sahib, and Katha would happen of that poti, and it was known as Gauj Katha. And this Katha would take place, and Sant Guru Bachan Singh Ji, when they went to Hazur Sahib, they did Katha from that poti. And at that time, they told the Gursikhs in the Jatha to also make copies of certain pages from the poti, from certain angas from the poti. So this is where Gyani Pritam Singh Ji Lakhari, who now lives in Southwold, they made notes. They wrote made copies of certain angs from that diary, and the Guru Sikhs have a darshan of those handwritten notebooks of Gyani Pritam Singh Ji, where then this slok has been found in this dohra has been found in the diary of Bhai Har Singh. So Bhai Har Singh Ji, that Gauj Katha that used to happen took place up until I think the 70s or 80s, because now that poti has been lost in Hazur Sahib. But at some point, if Maharaj decides, it will become Paragat again. But at the time now, that poti isn't there. But because Gyani Pritam Singh Ji has copies of that, we know that it existed. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji, then they gave this command, Agya Bhai Akal Ki Tabi Chalayo Panth, Sab Sikhun Ko Hukam Hai Guru Manyo Granth, that you follow all Sikhs should follow this command and acknowledge Guruji as the physical form of all the Gurus, isn't it? Yeah. And there's slight differences in the Gutke Sahib and of the Ucharan. So Guru Granth Ji Mani is the Puratan part that we find, and Jo Prabhu ko milyo chahe, not milbo, as you might have some Gutke Sahib, is milyo chahe, milan di ichha hove. So Jo Prabhu ko milyo chahe, it would be the Puratan part that was found in Bhai Har Singh's diary. So Shaheed Baba Deep Singh Ji carried out the task of writing 4 copies of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, that Damdami Bead. So Baba Deep Singh Ji made 4 copies of the Saroop. Each copy was sent to the 4 Takhats, Sri Akal Takht, Sri Patna Sahib, Sri Damdama Sahib and Sri Hazur Sahib. This also comes into Panth Prakash. Aur char tis partay paye Deep Singh Shaheed likhaye. So 4 more Saroops were then written, in this way by Baba Deep Singh Ji. Ik Akal Bunge, Ik Patne. One was then sent to Akal Bunge, meaning Akal Takht Sahib. And one was sent to Patna Sahib, Patne. Triti Hazur Dayo Hit Patne. The third one was sent to Hazur Sahib. Dayo Hit Patne. Prem Nal Bhejya Gaya, to Hazur Sahib. Chatarat Rakhiyo Damdame Chahe, Bad Babe Eh Char Sadahe. And the 4th was kept at Damdama Sahib, and then that was then kept, and that was the 4 Saroops then completed by Baba Deep Singh. So the 5th copy was written by Baba Deep Singh Ji in Arabic, which is believed to be in the Baghdad Museum. So the 5th Saroop, this is the first ever Saroop which was transliterated to another language. And this Saroop, they say, is in a museum in Baghdad, which I think more cordial will have to be done for to find that Saroop. Many other copies were also made by other Guru Sikhs, like by Mani Singh Ji Shaheed, Pyare Bhai Daya Singh and other great renowned Guru Sikhs. So many other Saroops were written at the time as well. But these 4 Saroops were made, the copies of were made. This is one of the Saroops which they say is a copy. This is a copy of the Damdami bead, and this Saroop is also known as the Soneri bead, and which is currently in Akal Takht. So whenever there's a Gurpurb, when there's a Jalao, they will do Prakash of this Swarup. It has a gold jild, gold cover. And you can see the copy of the Swarup, then Damdami Swarup. This is a copy of it. So the original Swarup, the Damdami bead, we will talk a bit about later. So at this time then, Guruji then, the Guru Sikhs also write about the absolute faith and on Guru Granth Sahib Ji and the Panth. So एक दिन गोबिंद सिंह जी बोलिया जो शब्द थी सवा होर थे प्रतीत नहीं करनी शब्द बिन प्रतीत होर नरक लै जासी शब्द पढ़ना शब्द सुनना शब्द कमावना. So one day Guru Gobind Singh Ji says that a Sikh should never place his or her faith on other than Guru's Shabad. The faith on others shall lead to hell. Therefore, read, listen and practice Guruji's Shabad. That's the Ratanama Chopai Singh, who was a Guru Sikh at the time of Guru Sahib, and then who wrote this the words of Guru Gobind Singh Ji at that time. The Sri Akal Purkh ke bachan syo pragtyo panth mahan Granth Panth Gur Maniya Take Tare Sakal Kulan. That the great Panth is manifested through the words of Almighty Himself, and believe in the Granth Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji and the Panth to have your entire lineage ferry across the world materialistic ocean. And this is again Ratanam by Daya Singh Ji. So later then, 1768, Guruji then they leave this world, and then the Swarup stays within the Panth, stays with the Nihang Singhs of Buddha Dal. And so in 1762, after Guru Gobind Singh Ji's merger into his formless form, the Jyoti Jyot, the original copy of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which was written by Pai Mani Singh Ji Shaheed, and the very Swarup given Gur Tagadi Tilak was then kept by Buddha Dal. This copy of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji which is also known as the Damdami bead, was available up until the 5th of February 1762, when the Vadda Kalukara, the Great Holocaust, took place. So Pai Ratan Singh Pangu writes that after the invasion of Ahmed Shah Abdali, 60,000 Sikhs who were protecting the Damdami bead were martyred, became Shaheed, and the bead was confiscated by Abdali, who took it with him to Kabul. So in Panth Prakash, it's written here, Tin Main Granth Turat The Doe, Ik Amrit Sariye Damdamiye Joe, Ker Layo Tin Agyo Aye, Juda Juda Te Laye Karaye, Kalu Kara Jab Bad Thiyo, Granth Durani Shah Jod Liyo. So in this way, during that Kalokara, during that Holocaust, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup was taken by the Ahmed Shah Abdali. So Dr. Hari Singh Gupta, in his book History of the Sikhs on page 183, he wrote that the Damdami bead was taken by Abdali to Kabul, and until today is reserved in the house of worship there. So some other people have claimed certain Swarups to be the Damdami Swarup, that actual Gurtagadi Swarup. Some people have claimed it. There was a person who lived in Coventry who claimed to have gone to Kabul and paid money and bought the Swarup back. There are other people that had claimed other ways that the Swarup was taken. Some people have said that the Swarup might have been taken during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan during the 80s. Really, actually at this time nobody knows. But Jai Maharaj Chave, then they can become Pargat at any time, the Swarup, the Gurtagadi Swarup. So although the Swarups were, the Gurtagadi Swarup is no longer with us, but Baba Deep Singh Ji made those copies of the Swarups, and those other Gursikhs made those copies of the Damdami bead. And so it's on those Swarups then where we have then Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup today. And so we can only be indebted to those Gursikhs. And so in many of these Swarups, they will also have Khas Patre. Khas Patre are those angs of Guru Granth Sahib Ji where Guruji's signatures will be on the Swarup. So here's just a few Khas Patre. Here we have a Swarup where Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji's Daskat, the sign is on the Swarup. Here we have another one of Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, and you can see the writing there of Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's so sign there. Here we have a Khas Patra of Guru Granth Sahib Ji this is by Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji. So this is Nishan is from Ad Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup in Patna side. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup in Patna side, yeah. And this is another Khas Patra of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and this is the writing of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji in the Swarup there. Okay. Another Khas Patra. This is the writing of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and this Swaroop is in Patna side. So this is another Swaroop that has the signature of Guru Gobind Singh Ji there, Maharaj. And Maharaj's writing style, Vakriya, is Nyara. It's different from the others. Yeah, Maharaj's style of writing is very calligraphic in that way of writing. Here's another one as well. So this is another Khas Patra, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, with a beautiful border, very, very beautiful to look at. And there's another, so another one of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's writings. This is a Khas Patra of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and this is very unique because this Swaroop is a Swaroop of Ad Dasam Swaroop all in one together. So what I mean by this is Ad and Dasam Swaroop, Ad Guru Granth Sahib Ji and Dasam Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swaroop together, scribed by Shaheed by Mani Singh Ji in 1713 AD. Yeah, just 5 years after Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. So this Swaroop is not your traditional Swaroop in the way that all the Bani is in how we have Darshan of Maharaj Swaroops today, that we have the Bani in the order of Rags. This Swaroop is in the order of all of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Bani first, then Guru Angad Dev Ji, Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, etc. by Guru order. And when after Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's Bani, all the writings of Guru Gobind Singh Ji has been included as well by the order of Mata Sahib Kaur, who sends a chitti to Bhai Mani Singh Ji at Amritsar at that time. And Bhai Mani Singh Ji collects all that Bani together and they scribe this Swaroop. And so this Swaroop then has all of the Bani, including Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani. And what's about that Swaroop is that this was completed in 1713, but Maharaj has written Khas Patra in the Swaroop, which means that some of the work was before Guruji's Jyoti Jyot. So in this Swaroop, on the left is Guru Gobind Singh Ji's writing, and on the right is by Mani Singh Ji Shaheed's writing there on the right. And in that Swaroop is this Swaroop is currently today is in Delhi near Bangla Sahib with a family that is from the family of the Raja of Jaipur. And so the Swaroop was kept with them. So that Swaroop is there till today. And Guru Sikhs have actually digitized this Swaroop. And we can have darshan of the Swaroop. So in that same Swaroop then is Ragamala and Shahi Ki Bidhi. So in the Swaroop we have Ragamala, and then in the Shahi Ki Bidhi is basically the ink used to write Guru Granth Sahib Ji, what was the ingredients put into the Swaroop. So there's another picture as well that we got of the Swaroop. This is available online, which we found online. This Swaroop has Shahi Ki Bidhi, the ingredients used in the ink, and you can see the different types of things used in the ink. So it says here to grind 1 head of kajal and add atar, which is the scent, the gum of an acacia tree, 1 rati, and 1 rati of gold. So gold went into the ink. Water of turmeric, haldi, in a copper pot, bark of a neem tree, and black sulfide from antimony from Afar, and then grind it for 20 days and keep it in a tight box. And this will also be written in the Swaroops. This is only written by the Lakharis, by the writers. It's not the actual Gurbani. Yeah, it's just written that this was what was put into the ink. And this Swaroop in which this Shahi Ki Bidhi is written, it also has these insignias of like the swastikas. So before Adolf Hitler came along and made it all negative, yeah, made it a bad thing, the swastika was considered like to be like prosperity and happiness. So it could be that this Swaroop was in the possession of maybe Udasin saints who maybe did this practice of doing the tilak and doing a swastika on it. But regardless, they kept the Swaroop intact, and they kept the Swaroop, and took care of the Swaroop. And so which we have then obviously the Shahi Ki Bidhi written on there. So we're going to go now into the composition of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, how Guru Granth Sahib Ji is then formed. Guru Granth Sahib Ji is formed with the 35 letters that we showed you earlier. Ude to laake Rade tak. So each letter here is used, and then we have the Lagamatra, the 12 Lagamatra. Kanna, Bindi, Siari, Biari, Ankar, the Lankar, Nadunama, Hoda, Kanoda, Tippi, and Bindi. And what's interesting is that none of the Bindi Akkar are used, and none of the Adak is used either. So we get taught where to add Adak and where to emphasize on words. And Bindi Akkar, there's no use of it. Although nowadays it's become very common for people to recite Gurbani using the Bindi wal Akkar, Shasha, Khaka, Gaga, Zaza, Fa, Fa, Lala. However, these Akkar were only formed much later. And when we read the Bani Patti Likhi, the one that I mentioned in the beginning of the talk, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji recited the Bani with all the letters and explained the meanings, there's only 35 letters there. There's no more than 35. And so only 35 letters, 20 is used to write Guru Granth Sahib Ji. No other Akkar can be added. So the contributors of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji are 8 Sikh Gurus, 15 Bhagats, these are saints from various different backgrounds, 17 Bhatt, who are poets, who wrote the praises of the first 5 Gurus, and 4 Gursikhs. Now, in recent times now, there's a slight difference in belief, where some people may say that there are 6 Gurus and there are 11 poets. Yeah. So with the Guru Sahib, I'll explain that in the next slide. Here we can see that the different Guru Sahib's Bani, that how many times it comes in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So from Guru Nanak Dev Ji to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, we have all the Bani there written with different sloks and different shabads, with Guru Arjan Dev Ji having the most, 2,218. And then 6th is Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, who added the tunes. Now the tunes are those 9 tuniya, 9 tun. And so even if Guruji added those 9 tun, that's still Bani. Even though they might have not recited a complete Shabad, if they just wrote one line, it's still Bani, just like Bhagat Surdasi's one line. And so I'll show you how then Gurbalas Pasha Shevi also writes that. And then Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's sloks Shabads are added. And then Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Dohra. So if we look at our history and we listen to the Katha, when Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji is going to give their Shahidi in Delhi, it's in the jail cell where Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji recites Salok Mahalla Nava, Gun Gobind Gayo Nahi Janamakar Sangin, all the sloks that we hear at the end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Maharaj did ucharan of that in the jail cell before the Shahidi. And at that time, the guard as well, also seeing Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, then basically became a devout Sikh. And he said to Maharaj that, look, I'll open the gates, I'll make a rasta and I'll let you go. And Guruji refused. They said, no, this is what I have to do. And so then at that time, Guruji then sends a letter to the mother Mata Nanaki, and also then Mata Gujjar Kaur, to send a letter to give them haunsala, to tell them, and that's when Maharaj ucharan of the sloks. Chinta taki kijiye jo anhoni hoye. And Maharaj likhde and they send it as a chitti and to Anandpur side. And they also write the Dohra. Yeah, and they write the Dohra, Bal Chotke Bandan Pare, they write the Dohra and they send that to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Anandpur side, and they say to the Gursikh that I want a jawab for this, and tell Guru Gobind Singh Ji, to Guru Gobind Rai at that time, to give me an answer to this slok, to this Dohra. And that's when Guru Gobind Singh Ji then in Anandpur side, they then write Bal Chotke Bandan Bal Hua Bandan Chote Sab Kichh Ho To Paye. Maharaj then replies with that Dohra and returns it back to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. And Maharaj then reads that and says that yes, that he is worthy to be the next Guru. And then Guruji gives the Gurta Gadi from the jail cell in Delhi and gives the Gurta Gadi from there, Matha Tek there. Just like how Guru Harkrishna Sahib Ji gives the Gurta Gadi from Delhi to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Babe Bakale. So that's anu shanka nahi karni chahiye. We shouldn't think that, how could that be? And so Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji gives the Gurta Gadi to Guru Gobind Singh Ji and adds that slok in their sloks as well. And many sloks will have Padshahi Dasavi. So the reason why people say there's only 6 Guru Sahib's Bani is because they won't include Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji and they won't include the Dohra because it's in Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Bani. Or it could be a bigger thing, where the 2 Guru Sahibs that waged wars, those 2 Guru Sahibs, they are being omitted. That's another conversation we can have some other time. So the other Gursikhs then, the Bani that were added here, is Pai Mardana Ji, Pai Sundar Ji, and Pai Sattate, Pai Balwand. Pai Mardana Ji, again, some people will say there are only 3 Gursikhs, not 4. But in Sampradana, which in the traditional schools, we get taught that when there was a Gursikh, there was a person that was Sharabi, was an alcoholic, and Pai Mardana Ji explained that by drinking sharab, by having this alcohol, you're wasting your life away, and to recite the name of Vaheguru, and that will save you in this world. And then Guruji then so Bhai Mardana Ji told Guruji, and Guruji recited Bani at that time and gave it to Bhai Mardana Ji, which we read in Bahagre Ki Var. And it comes as Slok Mardana Pehla, and there's 3 sloks there. So Baba Sundarji was so from the lineage of Baba Sundarji. So Baba Sundarji was from the lineage of Baba Mohri Ji, from Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji's son. So Baba Mohriji's son was Baba Anandji, Baba Anandji's son was Baba Sundarji, and they wrote the Bani. Then we all hear when somebody dies, we read the Bani of Ramkali Sad. And then Pai Satta, Pai Balwand, they were the Babis, they were the Kirtanis, and they would sing Kirtan. There's quite a long Sakhi about that, which we can't go into now, but then they recite Ramkali Ki Var in Ramkali Rag. So that's a Bani which they recite at the time. Here is a Swarup by Daya Singh Ji's handwritten Swarup, where Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Dohra is written Mahalla Daswa, which is not, so here we have Dohra, Bal Chutukeo Bandana Pareo, and here we have Mahalla Daswa, Bal Hua Bandana Chute, Ite Mahalla Daswa Likhya Hua is Swarup. Here we have another Swarup here, Burhan Puri Swarup. And in this Swarup, it also have Guru Gobind Singh Ji's signature on the left here. Sorry. So in this Swarup is Guru Gobind Singh Ji's signature. And in the Swarup here, also has Mahalla Daswa, which is just below there where the, just here, it might be a bit difficult to read. But you can see a Balhu, Bandan Chota, Sab Kichu Hota Bhai. So although Maharaj ne, as well in that signed Swarup, it also has Mahalla Daswa. This Swarup is a photo which I took, which is from Droli Pai in near Moga, and Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji stayed there quite a while in Droli Pai. In this Swarup, there was a Gursikh called Pai Nandchand, who was an Udasin saint. And this saint went and wrote the Swarup and travelled to see Guru Gobind Singh Ji, which Maharaj then signed the Swarup. And within the Swarup then is also Mahalla Daswa here, which you can see quite clearly there. Bal ho bandan chote sab kuch ho to upai. So is tarah ithe bhi Mahalla Daswa aunda hua. But in current day Swarups you won't have this, because in the Damdami bead it doesn't have Mahalla Daswa. Maharaj didn't put Mahalla Daswa, but many other Guru Sikhs added it. So here we have Mudamli Mahalla Panjava in the Swarup. So in the Swarup that I showed you of by Mani Singh Ji's handwritten, where you had the Guru Granth Sahib Ji and Dasam Guru Granth Sahib Ji all writing of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Swarup all together. In that Swarup it says Padshai Dasvi, but the Swarup, the picture is very low quality, it's very blurred. But here at the bottom is Padshai Dasvi in red ink. Because in the Swarup, every Sirlek, every Mangalacharan are written in red. All the Sirlek, all the titles are written in red in this Swarup. And so that's that here is Shahid Shahidi going to Lahore. Guruji tells Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji that you're not going to ucharan any new Bani, but you're going to choose 9, you're going to choose out of the vars to add you're going to choose out of the 22 vars in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and you're going to add the tunya on them to give biras to the Gursikhs so that they can wage war and have that warrior spirit within them. So Guruji then, when they gave the Gurta Gaddi to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji sent Gursikhs to go and call the Taddis, those ones who sing the songs of warriors, they sing the songs of warriors. And so Guruji sent the Gursikhs to go and call Pai Abdullah Pai Natha from the pind of Sur Singh, where Baba Bidhi Chand was from. And these Taddis come, and outside of Akal Takht, just like we see today, the Taddis, they sang these stories, songs of these great warriors. And Maharaj took those tunes of those warriors and added those tunes onto the Bani. So, for example, here we have like Var Maj Mahalla Pehla. It has the tuni of Malak Murid Tatha Chandrahada Sohiya ki tuni. And one that we hear every day is Asa Divar, which is Tunde Asaraje ki tuni, which is and each of these bars have this tuni, and these are being added by Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, scribed by Gurudas Ji. And so if we look at these stories, there were many, but Guruji only chose 9. And if I just take one as an example, if we look at Rai Kamal Din Mojdin Ki War, this is a story where there was a king by the name of Raja Sarang. Raja Sarang was a great noble king, a very good person, and his brother, his name was Kamal Din. Kamal Din was like very cunning and sly, and he wanted the Raj for himself. So what happened was, Raja Sarang, he would have to pay tax because his kingdom was under Akbar, Emperor Akbar. So what would happen, he would have to pay a tax, and he would give the tax money to his brother Kamal Din, and he would say to his brother, you pay it on my behalf. And so every year he would give him the money, tax par ke aao, and he'd go and take the money and give it. But he was very sly, very cunning. He would keep the money for himself, and all that tax money he would just pocket it, and he would tell his brother, yeah, I gave all the money. What happened was then, after a while, Akbar's Darbar, when they looked at them, they said that Raja Sarang is not giving his tax. So they capture him, they imprison him, and and the people they were like shocked that Raja Sarang is such a good king. The ministers in Akbar's court, they knew that he was a good person. So what they did was, they did investigation, and they found out that he'd been paying it, and obviously that Kamal Din had been taking all the money. So they let him free. And Kamal Din knew that now he's going to come back, he's going to lose the Raj that he has. So what he does is that he meets him halfway, he meets his brother halfway, and what he does, he fills 2 bottles of alcohol, and with one of them he puts sharab, in one of them, the sharab bottle, he puts in poison in it. And so what he does, he keeps the one, so with the sharab, with the poison, he keeps that one, and the other one without it, he gives it to him, and he says, look, now you've been freed, and let's drink and let's drink, give each other the drink, and let's celebrate. And Raja Sarang, he couldn't, because of his brother, he couldn't believe that he would do this to him, and that he was stealing the money. So he still sort of believed, that he was a good person. So in this way, then, they give the sharab, and then Kamal Din then gives it, and then he then drops dead, from having the poison, and he goes back. Now Raja Sarang's son was Mojdin, and he was young at that time. And then he leaves and goes to his Nanake, and when he goes back to his Nanake, when he's a bit older, he then, with the help of his Nanake, he gets hold of an army. And then the two have a big battle. He then comes back and then has a battle with his Chache Patiji, the ladai hundi hai. And they have this battle, and in this battle then, Kamal Din, then he gets defeated, and then Mojdin wins. And the Taddis, they sing this in Taddi Vara to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji selects the tune and adds it to then Gauri Ki War, on Ang number 318. So these are the 9 tuniya, and each one of these, the one that we have every day, Asa Divar Tuni, Tunde Saraji Ki Tuni, is a very long sakhi, and it's quite an amazing one. So in that way, the Tuniya were added by Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. There are 15 Bhagats, which is nobody disagrees with this. Everybody agrees that there's 15 Bhagat. But where then some will believe that there's only 11 Pat. However, if we look at Puratana sources on our history books, there have always been 17. So the 17 names of the Pats, the poets are there. Kal, Kal, Sahar, Tal, Jala, Pajala, Kirat. It was only in the 1900s when scholars such as Sahib Singh and others, they then did their own Ginti Minti and they came up with the number 11. But however, Puratana sources, Guru Balas, and then also Kavi Santok Singh, Surya Prakash, all the older and in the Sampradaya, the traditional schools, always teach 17 poets that are included in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And these poets came to Guru Arjan Dev Ji and recited the praises of the first 5 Gurus. So some of the languages used in Guru Granth Sahib Ji: Punjabi, Sanskrit, Sindhi, Western Punjabi, Lendi, Arabic, Persian. So the famous Persian Shabad, Yak Arj Guftam Pesto Dar Gos Kun Kurtar, Maharaj Ucharan Ki, all in Persian. Marathi, Gujarati, Marathi, Eastern Hindi, Western Hindi, Eastern Apabramsa. These are different languages used, and there's many more as well. These are just a few that Maharaj used. So, and then we have the indexes of the Damdami Veed, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swaroop, Japji Sahib. Then we have Sodar, the 9-10 Shabads of Rairas that we read in the beginning. And then we have Kirtan Swela. And then we have each Rag. Hanji. So we have from Siri Rag all the way to Jajavanti. So Jajavanti being then the 31st Rag, which have the teaching, the writings of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. Sanskriti Salok, Gatha, Funhe Chaubole, Saloks of Kabir and Farid, the Patta Savaye of the poets, and then Varate Vadik, Salok Mahala Nava, then Mundavani, Salok Mahala Panjavan, Rag Mala at the end. That's the index of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji as we see today. And then the different names given to God in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, these are just some of the different names. Hari comes 8,344 times, Ram 2,533, Allah 46, Vaheguru comes 13 times, and then Vaheguru without the Sihari comes 3 times. And these are the different times, the other different names. Thakur there 216, Datab. These are just a few. There's many more within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Many different names given to Vaheguru Karpurk. So the final bit of the talk that we do is Guru Bilas Pashahi Shevi. Guru Bilas Pashahi Shevi is that text that we have history in which Guru, after Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Jyoti Jot 1708, by Mani Singh Ji Shaheed, they go to a Gurdwara Sahib, say Gurdwara Nanak Sar Sahib, which is now in Pakistan, and they basically do katha and explain the life of the Gurus and up to Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. And when they do the katha by Shaheed, by Mani Singh Ji does the katha, there was a Gursikh there called Bhagat Singh. And Bhagat Singh listened to all the katha and wrote down all the katha and made it into Kavi Roop in the form of poetry, in which then it could be read as poetry and then katha could be done of it. So Bhagat Singh was the one who, then wrote all it out in, as we see today, in which katha is done of this Granth. But all the katha is of by Mani Singh Ji, explaining the history of the Gurus. And this was completed in 1718. 1714, they say up to 1718 it was completed, 10 years after Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Jyoti Jot. So it's very close, to Maharaj's time. And in Guru Bilas Pashahi Shevi, Maharaj then here, by Mani Singh Ji, they go through at this time. So we could just go over just one passage from here, one of the chapters, where here by Mani Singh Ji, then Bhagat Singh Ji writes as well, then Chaupai, Siri Satgur Dekh Lago Divana, Budde Adik Sab Ikathana. That in the court of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, then there's a divan that's taking place, where Baba Buddha Ji and many other Gursikhs, like Bhai Gurdas Ji and Baba Bidhi Chand Ji and many other great Gursikhs, they sat in all one place. And this is just before Guru Arjan Dev Ji is going to give their Shahidi. I'm going to go to Lahore. So, Har Gobind ko kaha sunai, agya mor sunho chetalai. Guru Arjan Dev Ji kehde hai कि Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji apni agya suno, listen to my command now, and listen to it with one focused mind. Sahib buddhe bachan bakhana, tum karne jud maha payana. Just like Baba Buddha Sahib did the bachan that you are going to do great jud, great payanak jud aap karne hai, maha payanak jud karne hai. So Baba Buddha, Guru Arjan Dev Ji is referring to that time where Baba Buddha Ji crushes the onion, yeah, and says that you're going to destroy all the Mughals in this way, yeah, to Guru Hargobind Sahib, to Mata Ganga Ji, and gives the var to Mata Ganga Ji. In that way, Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying that just like Baba Buddha Ji has said that you are going to wage many wars, then these great wars. Granth Beach Ham Joy Likhai. Guru Arjan Dev Ji explaining to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji that in the Swarup, in the Aad Guru Granth Sahib Ji, jo main likhya ode vich, wo I've written in all the shabds that I've written within Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swarup, 22 var sarho man lai. Listen to the 22 vara, the 22 vars. Listen to those with your mind. Man pasand sun var jo pavo. So choose then, choose out of those 22 vars. Yeah, jo man pasand karda, choose out of those 22. Tabe tuna tum tahe chadavo. And then add the tunes tuna to those 22. Which इतिहास में लिखा बानी और नहीं तुम करनी और कोई बानी नहीं उच्चारण करनी. You're not going to make any other bani. Yeah, Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying this, that you're only going to add the tunes to those vara. Sat bachan sun ho mamak saramani. That these are the true words. Listen to them with your listen to them and follow these words. Sat bachan karke. Deen het jo sees utare. Guru Arjan Dev Ji, they're saying pavikt bachan at this time. They're saying Deen het jo sees utare, that for dharma vaste, that when the cease utare, when I will take my cease off, meaning that in the 9th form, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, when I then for the faith of others, when I give my shahidi and remove my cease, chare bani mukho uchare, then I will do ucharan of bani. Then Guru Arjan Dev Ji saying that I will do ucharan of bani when I in my 9th form, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Roop Devich. So this is why then Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji is instructed to only add tuna, no shabad. And so we don't have any mahalla sheva or satwa or atwa. It goes to mahalla nava. And this is also a reason why then the dohara by Guru Gobind Singh Ji utte mahalla daswa nahi aunda. Because after also when the Baba Prithvi Chand then, and he had Mehraban and then Har Sahai who claimed to be gurus, they all would have had mahalla there. And Guruji does Pavikt Bachan at this time and tells them that in my 9th form, then I will add the bani then. But you're not going to add any other bani, you're only going to add the tunes of the 22, within the 22 vars. Aur kisi ki chade na bani, no other person's writing can be added to the bani. Sat bachan hamre tum jani, and understand then these words to be true and follow it. So this is when then Bhai Mani Singh Ji then says the following dohra to Bhagat Singh. They say, Guru Granth Kaljug Payo Sri Guru Roop Mahan. That Guru Granth Sahib Ji in Kaljug, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is the form of all the 10 gurus before them. Yeah. And thus Pashiyan Guru Guru Granth Ji Jan know that Guru Granth Sahib Ji is a form of the 10 gurus, yeah, and they're the greatest. Guru Roop Mahan, the Mahan Roop, they're the greatest form Guru Granth Sahib Ji is, and all 10 gurus reside within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Gur Dars Jehe Dekhna Sri Granth Darsai. Whoever wants to see the Guru, any of the 10 gurus before, then go and see Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Baat karan gurusyog chahe pade granth man lai. That if anybody wants to speak to any of those gurus, then go and then so read Guru Granth Sahib Ji with one-mindedness. So Shahid Bhai Mani Singh Ji is saying this to Bhagat Singh, yeah, in that dohra, that Guru Granth Sahib Ji is the form of all the 10 gurus. And that if anybody wants to see or wants to speak to the Guru, then you have darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji and you read the Bani within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Next is the continuation of what Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying in the Sangat, in the Chaupai. Chaupai, Agya aur suno man lai. Now listen to the Agya, listen to the command now. Agya. Sab hi man taro sukh paaye, and which will then give you lots of sukh, lots of bliss, and when you follow these words. Pache chali reet eh aayi. That for many previous times there will be different ways of doing things. Mritak pache as karai. That when somebody dies, the reet, the maryada, the conduct of when somebody dies, many these things happen, and Guru Arjan Dev Ji is explaining that in the next bit. Garud Paran Padavat ko aur Paran Padan Matra lo. So some people will read the Garud Paran. So or the Hindu faith, you have the 18 Paran. Within the 18 Purans, you have the Garud Paran. Some will read the Garud Paran when somebody dies, for their nimit, for that person when they die. And some people will read other Purans as well. Yeah. Mrit pache e reet Bed Puran at sab matline. Some would read the Beds, some would read the Purans, and some people would contemplate upon those. Sabka sar Granth Ji kine. That Guru Granth Sahib Ji is the most sar shreshth of all of those. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says when somebody dies, people will do the part from the Puran, from the Veds, from the Shastras. But Guru Granth Sahib Ji is the greatest out of all of those. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Mrit pache eh reet so kare. So when somebody dies, do this reet, do this maryada. Guru Granth ka part so taro. So do part of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Ja Sahaj part karo, ja Khand part karo. But when somebody dies, you do a part of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Pave Pog Mal Rag Mala ko pad. Pave Pog Rag Mala ko pad. So on the Pog, you read Rag Mala when you end the Bani. And Chin Meh Pap Jahe Tanke Sad. That person who's died, within a chin, within like a blink, within a second, all the pap, all that person's sins that have done will all burn away. Kada prashad e namit karave, nark dwar ko so neh jave. And then for that person, we do kada prashad as well. That's part of the maryada for that deceased person. You do a saj part or a khand part. You read a ragamala on the pog, and you do kada prashad. And when you do kada prashad in that way, that person will never go to nark, doesn't go to hell. Pache mritaka as bid karo. So do this when somebody passes, then do this bidi, do this maryada. The jivat jatan as bid taro. And even while we're alive, jivat, when we're still living, e jatan kariye eda bani padan di. So just like we read bani, we do a khand part, saj part when somebody dies, Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying that we should also do that while we're alive as well, and do that jatan as well, do that effort to read Gurbani the same way for ourselves while we're living as well. So, Dohra Tar Prem Gur Granth Ka Paat Kare Man Lai. So, read Guru Granth Sahib Ji Bani with one-mindedness and have love for Guru Granth Sahib Ji and read with love. Rag Mal Pad Prem Syo Pog Japji Te Pai. Guruji is saying the part maryada, yeah, ke on the pog of the part, Rag Mala Padke, we read Japji Sahib the part, ke Japji Sahib the part nahi karde. They will go straight to the share paudi and answer ke wo bhi nahi karde. They start doing kirtan ke ardas bhi nahi karde. So the maryada Maharaj Bhai Mani Singh Ji ithe likhya hua isn't it, yeah, that Guru Arjan Dev Ji is telling the Sangat at the time ke you read Rag Mala with love, and then you do Japji Sahib that part, Sampuran. Te kada karave har kasyo kot jag fal cheen. That when you do kada prasad is you do it with a lot of happiness and love, and it's like doing kroda hi jag. These and other worships that are done, it's like a millions of those by doing kada prasad and it being distributed in the Sangat. Sab Sangat sun ban gur. Chit Mahat Taraleen, and all the Sangat, they listened to the bachan of Guru Arjan Dev Ji and they placed it within their hearts and they followed those bachan of Guru Arjan. This is why we have that maryada till today as well. If you look, when somebody dies, we all do saj part for the person. We do it. Yeah, we do the saj part, we do a khand part. In maryada, we have it part of our mritak sanskar. So this part in Guru Pasha Shevi, Maharaj explains the Path and the greatness of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji is our living eternal Guru. I was aiming to have a break in between, but it was probably just best if we just go through it because sometimes it breaks the flow, yeah? So we finished a bit early. If you guys have any questions, I guess you can ask me any questions, but otherwise we'll finish then. So I'll probably make lots of mistakes, so please forgive me for any mistakes. And if there's any questions, we just take any questions about it. Hanji, Ardas is Panth di Ardas. So the first bit that we read is from Chandi Diwar, Pratham Bhagavati Simar Ka. Then the rest of Panth, the Panth made the Ardas in that way with all the Paudiyan. And then the Dohara, like explained, is from Bhai Har Singh's diary, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's words, those are that we sing at the end. Hanji.
And Raj Karega Khalsa Aapki Dalega Koi. Who has written those words? And what does it mean and when does it happen?
हाँ, so Raj Karega Khalsa Aaki ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਕੜੇ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੰਕਾਰੀ ਲੋਕ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਲਕੀ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਿੰਘ ਉਹ ਕਲਕੀ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਆਉਣਾ ਆ ਬੜਾ ਜੰਗ ਜੁੱਧ ਹੋਏਗਾ 100 ਸਾਖੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕੁਛ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਰੀਡ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਨੇ ਐਂਡ ਸੋ ਹਜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜੰਗ ਹੋਰ ਭਿਆਨਕ ਜੰਗ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੇ ਰਾਜਾ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਦੇ ਰਾਜ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ 96 ਕਰੋੜ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਆਏਗਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਐਂਡ ਸੋ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਾਕੀ ਐਨੀਥਿੰਗ ਐਲਸ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦ ਟੋਪ ਨਹੀਂ then we could just do ਸਮਾਪਤੀ then so just say ਫਤਿਹ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
No way, I wish it makes this.